Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Today is Monday, May 22nd, and one player is getting absolutely scorching hot, and some teams are starting to catch fire as well. Let's do it. Hello, everybody. My name is Steven. This is the middle of the order. I hope everybody had a wonderful weekend. We've got another wonderful week of baseball to dive on into. Couple sweeps happening, some unfortunate ones, some pretty major ones. The Mets, hey, hello. Are you guys getting hot now? The Cardinals, way to turn it on. Before we dive into our series recap, just want to reiterate how much it means to me. If you enjoy the channel and enjoy the content, please feel free to subscribe, follow on the podcast apps, description, Twitter, and Instagram. I don't post much there yet, but I will, planning on doing that more frequently as we get more into the dog days of summer. Helps me out a ton. Shows that you guys are interested, so thank you very much if you subscribed. And yeah, we're going to dive right on into our series recap. Getting things started, Baltimore, they're in Toronto taking on the Blue Jays, and they came with their bats swinging as they launched 3 home runs from Ryan Mountcastle, Anthony Santander, and Adam Frazier. They take the first game versus the Blue Jays 6-2. In Game 2, homers from George Springer and Danny Jansen have the Jays up 5-2, but blink and it's 5-5 as Ryan O'Hearn gets the game-tying home run late, forcing us to extras where Austin Hayes drives in the run for Baltimore. The Jays can't answer, and the O's get another one. They take it 6-5. And on the final game, jumping right along in this one, we're tied at 2 heading into extras, and again Baltimore scoring a run thanks to Cedric Mullins, who was 5 for 6 in the game, but this time the Jays answer with a run of their own, sending us to 11th. And Baltimore decides to put up 5 runs in the inning. They sweep the Blue Jays in Toronto, an 8-3 win there. Not good, Blue Jay fans. Brewers and Rays, both Adrian Hauser and Shane McClanahan were dealing in this one, but the Rays get the only run in this one on a Francisco Mejia sac fly in the 8th inning. Rays will take it 1-0. In the second game, the Rays outpower the Brewers as Yanni Diaz, Harold Ramirez, and Christian Bethancourt all go deep. The Rays win another one, 8-4, and now they're looking for the sweep. Only Josh Lowe can do anything off of Freddie Peralta as he launched a 3-run home run. But the Brewers had home runs from William Contreras, Rowdy Tellez, and Willie Adames against his former team. As the Brewers come back and they beat the Rays, they avoid the sweep and win it 6-4. Moving right along, the Royals and the White Sox, and Michael Kopech, he gets a much-needed dominant start that hopefully corrects his season and gets him on the right track. He strikes out 10 Royals, which helps lead the White Sox to a win as they can't do anything against him, and they take the opener 2-0. In the second game, a 2 RBI single from Yohan Moncada and a bases clearing triple, a 3 RBI double, 3 RBI double from Jake Berger has the White Sox winning another one, this one 5-1. And in the final game, Luis Robert Jr. with the home run got the scoring started for the Sox, who were down 2-0 at the time before the home run, and they add 4 more after that. The White Sox, they sweep the Royals and take it 5-2. Twins and Angels, a little back and forth in this one as the Angels were up 3 before the Twins rally for 4 runs in 2 innings, but the Angels, they fight right back with 2 runs of their own as they beat the Twins to start the series. Angels take it 5-4. Second game, a big 3-run first and a Joey Gallo homer later on helps the Twins get past the Angels, and a late home run from Ohtani isn't enough for the Angels. Twins even the series 6-2 with the win. And in Game 3, after hitting the home run yesterday, Ohtani comes out and he pitches a gem, striking out 9 Twins in 6 innings as the Twins can't do much and they take the loss. They lose the series. Angels win it 4-2. The A's are in Houston taking on the Astros, and welcome back Jose Altuve back in the Astros lineup for the first time this year. But this game is all about Kyle Tucker. He drives in 3 runs, including a 2-run home run as the Astros win the first game 5-1. Second game, a good start from Hunter Brown keeps the Astros in the game as we are tied in the 8th inning. But who else than Yordan Alvarez, a clutch home run that helps the Astros get another win, 3-2 there. And on the Sunday, it's Orbit, the Astros mascot. It's his birthday. And what did he get as a present? How about a Framber Valdez complete game shutout to sweep the Athletics? Because that's exactly what he got. Framber goes the full 9 for the win, and they sweep the A's. Astros take it 2-0. Rockies and Rangers, both Adolis Garcia and Corey Seager hit 2 2-run home runs as the Rangers muscle past the Rockies to win it. They take it 7-2. And if you thought that was a lot, how about the Rangers scoring 8 runs in the first 2 innings in this one? And it didn't stop there as Corey Seager launched another home run as the Rangers take another 11-5. Game 3, let me tell you, something must be in the water in Texas because again, the Rangers pile on a bunch of runs, and once again, it's Corey Seager going deep as he homers in all 3 games in the series. It's his first 3 home runs of the year. Josh Jung and Josh Smith also go deep for the Rangers as they sweep the Rockies and take it 13-3. The Mariners are in Atlanta taking on the Braves, and the Braves score 5 runs late, including a home run from Matt Olson as they take the first game versus Mariners and win it 6-2 there. In Game 2, Matt Olson gets the ball rolling once again with a home run. This one was a 2-run shot, but this time it's the Mariners who score 5 runs in 2 innings, and then it's Eugenio Suarez. Gino gets a 2-run home run for some insurance. The Mariners take it 7-3. We go to the rubber match, and while some players like Jared Kelenic are hitting their 9th home runs of the year, other ones like Travis d'Arnaud are hitting their first home runs of the season. That helps back the Braves as they take it and they win the series versus the Mariners. 3-2 is your final. Tigers and Nationals, 2 teams under 500. The Tigers, though, they get backed by 4 home runs from Zach McKinstry, Matt Vierling, Riley Green, and Akil Baddoo, who hits his first of the season. They beat up on the Nats and take it 8-6 there. Game 2, Spencer Torkelson, he gets things started for the Tigers with a 2-run home run, but they can't get anything else after that as the Nats score 5, including a home run from Yeimer Candelario. The Nationals win it 5-2. Game 3, rubber match, Nationals get 18 hits in the game, and Riley Adams helped play a part of that by going 4-for-4 with a home run to help the Nationals win the game and the series. They take it 6-4. Guardians and Mets, a Josh Naylor 3-run home run has the Guardians up early, and they would have a 5-run lead before the Mets even scored. But the young Mets, Francisco Alvarez and Brett Beatty, they go yard to keep the Mets in striking distance, and boy did they strike a game-tying grand slam by Pete Alonso, which sends us to extras, and after the Guardians put up 2 runs, the Mets were able to tie the game, and then it would be the former Guardian Francisco Lindor playing in his first game versus former team with the walk-off single. The Mets get a come-from-behind victory to open the series. They win a wild one, 10-9. Rain Saturday means doubleheader Sunday, and after a late Brandon Nimmo home run, the Mets would be up 3 before the Guardians would come marching back and get a go-ahead home run from their star Jose Ramirez. But that lead did not last long as Starling Marte launches a 2-run shot to retake the lead for the Mets as they hold on and win it 5-4. Second game of the doubleheader, Jose Ramirez, he starts the game with a solo shot, which would be the only run for a while before Francisco Lindor, former Guardian, ties it up, a solo shot of his own. Both the starters in this one, Justin Verlander and Shane Bieber, go 8 innings pitched, but it's Jeff McNeil with the sac fly late that helps the Mets win, giving Verlander the win, Bieber the loss. Even though they both pitched great, the Mets sweep the Guardians to one-year final, and all 3 games were one-run games. Very good stuff from the Mets. Cubs and Phillies. Nico Horner is back and healthy and has himself a great first game back, going 3 for 6, 2 doubles and 4 RBIs, while Christopher Morel hits another home run as the Cubs sail past the Phillies 10-1. Game 2, Christopher Morel, he homers again alongside Dansby Swanson, but that would be nowhere near enough to win as the Phillies scored 6 in the first thanks to a Kyle Schwarber grand slam against his former team as the Phillies win it 12-3. And in Game 3, how about that tear Christopher Morel is on? He gets another home run and is homered in all 3 games this series, but his solo shot wouldn't get the job done as Bryson Stott's 2-run home run gives the Phillies the win as they take it 2-1. Yankees and Reds. Aaron Judge stays hot coming off that Blue Jays series with another home run to get this series started, and it's followed by an Anthony Rizzo 2-run shot as the Yankees win the first game 6-2. And in Game 2, the Yankees are down 3, but the comeback in the 5th, they score 3 runs in the 5th to come back. A home run from IKF that will send it to extras, where they put up 3 runs thanks to Anthony Rizzo, who hits another 2-run home run. The Yankees win another 7-4. And in Game 3, the Yankees get a pitcher back. It's Luis Severino is healthy and is making his season debut. He allows 1 run on 4 hits in 4 2/3 inning pitch. As Harrison Bader and Gleyber Torres has his back, they both go deep for the Yankees. They sweep the Reds and win another 4-1. D-backs and Pirates. The Pirates must have done their homework because they scored 5 runs off of Zach Gallen and added with a 3-run home run from Brian Reynolds as they take the first game 13-3. Game 2, Ketel Marte, he opens the scoring with a home run, but the Pirates would get the lead back thanks to Key Brian Hayes, who gets the bases clearing triple, but the D-backs weren't done as Pavin Smith gets the go-ahead home run that would give the D-backs the lead that they would hold on to, winning it 4-3. And in Game 3, Corbin Carroll's solo shot would spark the Diamondbacks offense. They put up 7 more runs and they beat the Pirates to win the series 8-3. Dodgers and Cardinals, the only 4-game set of the weekend, and the Cardinals came to play and they powered up for 7 home runs in the game. Wilson Contreras, Nolan Gorman with 2 home runs each. Juan Yepes, Paul DeJong, and Nolan Arenado again make up the 7. And even though Freddie Freeman's 300th home run, which was a grand slam, and Max Muncy, they go yard for the Dodgers, they pull back within 1. So the Cardinals score 7 runs in the 8th inning to put it away. They take the first game of the 4, 16-8. In the second game, Tony Gonsolin and the Dodgers pitchers blank the Cardinals as Mookie picks up a 3-run home run as the Dodgers answer back for a 5-0 win. Game 3, the Cardinals, they're up 3 before it's JD Martinez who muscles up a 3-run home run to tie the game for the Dodgers, but it didn't take long for the Cardinals to answer with their own 3-run home run, courtesy of Nolan Gorman, which turned out to be very important as the Dodgers would score 2 runs in the top of the 9th, but they couldn't get that 3rd run. The Cardinals take it 6-5. Game 4, hello Cardinals, hello Paul DeJong, and hello Oscar Mercado. They both played a huge role in this one. Paul DeJong goes 2 for 3 with a home run and 4 RBIs, while Mercado, he goes 3 for 4 with 5 RBIs as the Cardinals get to Kershaw and they take 3 of the 4 versus the Dodgers and are really starting to catch on fire. They take that last game 10-5. Marlins and Giants. And hello, Patrick Bailey making his MLB debut for the Giants behind the plate, while Brian De La Cruz for the Marlins continues to swing a hot bat as he gets a double and a home run in the game while driving in all three of the Marlins runs. But it wasn't enough to get past the Giants. They take the first game 4-3. Game 2, it's the pitcher's duel in this one between Logan Webb and Braxton Garrett, as the only run in this one came in the 8th on a John Birdie single. The Marlins win this one 1-0. Game 3, Patrick Bailey played his first MLB game on Friday, got his first Major League hit Saturday, and now has his first ever Major League home run. And alongside JD Davis, who also goes deep, the Giants take this one and they beat the Finns 7-5. Lastly here, the Red Sox and the Padres. Rafael Devers, he slugs 2 home runs in the opener of the series to help James Paxton get his first MLB win in over 2 years. As the Red Sox take the first game, they win it 6-1. Game 2, although Juan Soto and Fernando Tatis Jr. homer for the Padres, they couldn't get much more off of Chris Sale, who continues to look more and more like himself. 8 strikeouts in 7 innings of work, only allowing 3 hits, as Emmanuel Valdez for the Red Sox, he clubs a 3-run home run to help Boston get another versus the struggling Padres as they take it 4-2. The Padres, they need an answer, and they'll do it in a big way. Matt Carpenter, he hits a 2-run home run in this one, and Michael Wacha has another nice start, and he's backed by a great performance from the bullpen as the Padres blank the Red Sox. They avoid the sweep, and they win it 7-0. So now let's go into our game of the weekend. Honestly, I could do another series of the weekend and talk about all 3 games between the Mets and the Guardians, because they were really a lot of fun and something, just good baseball to have. They had that one game where Ramirez hits the go-ahead home run in the top of the 8th. Guardians fans have hope. The Mets answer right back. Marte in the bottom of the 8th, 2-run shot. And they end up winning that one. The pitcher's duel on Sunday, which the other Sunday game, I guess, between Bieber and Verlander. Just great stuff. Two electric arms, one young guy, one old guy. But obviously we're going to the Friday game, 10-9. The final starts in the top of the first. Josh Naylor, a 3-run home run, gets the Guardians out in front. Cam Gallagher in the top of the second, he singles in a run. Top of the 5th, Rosario, he singles in a run. 5-0. You're halfway through that game. But then in the bottom of the 5th happens. Francisco Alvarez, he hits his 5th home run of the year. That gets the Mets on the board. Jeff McNeil, he singles in a run. That makes it 5-2. Next inning, bottom of the 6th, Brett Beatty, 5-3, his 4th of the year. And you hit the top of the 7th, Josh Naylor. He comes through again, a 2 RBI single. Gallagher scores, Kwan scores, and it's 7-3 Guardians. And then here you go, bottom of the 7th, the moment of the game. Pete Alonso, his 17th home run of the year already. A grand slam. That ties the game, and everyone is hyped in Citi Field. That takes us to extras. Gabriel Arias with the Guardians, his 3rd of the year, a 2-run shot that made it 9-7. But the Mets aren't done. Mark Vientos, he singles. Brett Beatty scores, making it 9-8. Next batter, Francisco Alvarez, he singles, and that scores another run. Eduardo Escobar comes in to score. That makes it 9-9. The moment you've been waiting for. Francisco Lindor against his former team, the first game he ever played against the Guardians, singles a line drive to right field. Alvarez comes in to score, and the Mets can celebrate a wild one. They walk it off. They beat the Guardians. Great for Lindor doing it against his former team. Great for the Mets because they've been kind of mediocre recently. So the sweep against the Guardians alone is huge. Obviously, it's against the AL Central, one of the more poopier divisions. But, a win's a win and a sweep's a sweep. So good for the Mets because maybe this gets you guys on the right track. We look at the Cardinals. they're starting to get on the right track. 3 out of 4 against the Dodgers is pretty important, pretty big for them. So, I mean, overall, just great stuff from the Mets, and we'll see how it can continue. They got a long way to go to get back to the top with the Braves there. Now, on to some of our baseball news for the weekend. And we're going to start with the Cubs. They've got this kid, and he has been on a tear recently, an absolute scorcher. He didn't start the year with the Cubs. He was called up recently, played a little bit last year, got his feet wet in the majors, and now he's here. And I think he's here to stay. Christopher Morel, he has played 11 games so far this season, and he has 8 home runs. He has been hitting the ball for the Cubs, doing really well, joining in, kind of middling out into that team. Obviously, the Cubs, with the big signing of Dansby, what are you getting out of Cody Bellinger, who so far has been very good for the Cubs. It's still an NL Central division where, you've got the Brewers, you've got the Cardinals. For some reason, we've got the Pirates there. So, right now they're 4th. But, I mean, they can definitely turn things on. And I think this kid's going to be a big part of the Cubs team going forward. Big major play this year. I mean, he's been killing it. So, good for the Cubs, good for him. Getting that kind of success that he's been getting is pretty impressive, and it's good for baseball in general. Love to see stories like that develop, and he's been having a really nice start to the season. Let's see how it can continue, if he continues to launch balls, if he kind of colds out for a little bit. But he is on an absolute scorcher. Cubs fans are loving it, so good for you, Christopher Morel. The Reds, they have released their City Connect. They wore it on Friday against the Yankees, and honestly, we've had some really good ones this year. I mean, Texas, it's got a lot of culture into it. I'm not too crazy on the Texas ones, but the Mariners I'm absolutely adoring, and the Reds have a really nice one too. The Braves, obviously very nostalgic, kind of Hank Aaron-esque of his home run. But the Reds one, the black and the red, it goes really well. I love the logo, the C on the helmet, the hat looks really good. So props to the Reds. Good City Connects they got there that they rolled out. So I just want to mention that quickly. A couple DFAs. Now, I don't really do these because it's hard to kind of track. So many happen, so many releases, players moving up to AAA, down, up to the majors, down to AAA, switching teams, especially some of those players who are more, out of options and everything. But there's a few names that were kind of important. And for the Yankees, Aaron Hicks was DFA'd. For the Cubs, Eric Hosmer was DFA'd. So those are 2 pretty major ones there. The Angels, they released Ryan Tepera, former Blue Jay, former White Sox, former Cub. And, he's had some decent success, but obviously the Angels have had their share with him. So, he's a free agent now. We'll see if he signs anywhere. They also DFA'd Brett Phillips, which is really unfortunate. All of baseball really loves Brett Phillips, especially Tampa Bay fans. Obviously, most people know him as a Ray. But the last couple of years, he spent some time with Baltimore, spent some time now with the Angels. He got his ending of work in with the Angels this year, but he has been DFA'd, so we'll see what happens with Brett Phillips. Hopefully, he can find a spot and land there. But yeah, definitely the Aaron Hicks one is the most surprising one. Or not surprising, because, Hicks isn't been playing really well, and the amount of money the Yankees owe him, I mean, they kind of just want to get rid of him. The Yankees fans don't like him. So, I mean, it was just kind of one of those things where it was a matter of just when is it going to happen, and they've decided to make the move now. So, Hicks will no longer be a Yankee. You'll see what happens with him. See what happens with Hosmer. The Cubs, like I said earlier, they're kind of just middling it out. So, we'll see what ends up happening with him. Ken Giles. This is something that we could talk about. Ken Giles, former stud closer with the Astros, with the Blue Jays. He's been signed to a minor league deal by the Dodgers. He obviously had some Tommy John stuff. Hasn't been the same, but he is looking to make a return. So we'll see what happens while he's in the Dodgers minor league camp, if he'll eventually get called up to the Dodgers team and start making a big impact there. The Dodgers don't really have that kind of closer anymore since Jansen left. Blake Trinan's kind of there, but Ken Giles, if he can get back to the Ken Giles that he could be and then he can be, he was. It's a good pickup for the Dodgers. So we'll see how that goes there. And last thing I want to touch upon for some news is the AL Beast division. I think it's completely unfair that you've got the Rays, who are 34-14, the Baltimore Orioles, who are 31-16, the Yankees 29-20, Boston 26-21, and then the Jays in fifth, 25-22. This kind of goes with the standing stuff that we'll do later. All five of those teams above 500. You look at the AL Central, the Twins, who are in first place, are 25-22, the same record as the fifth place Blue Jays. You look at the AL West, the Rangers, they're 29-17, so about the same record as the Yankees. Astros, they're 27-19, so the Yankees have a better record than them. But still, you look at the whole AL East, the top five teams, the five teams in the AL East make up like the top 8 out of the 15. It's crazy. All five of those teams have a plus run differential. While you look at the AL Central, the Tigers, -51, the Guardians, -34, White Sox, -54, Royals, -71. It's insane that the AL East, the AL Beast division, is this powerhouse team. And it basically, when it comes down to it, when it comes down to playoffs and everything, it's going to be which AL East team doesn't make it. Because you have your division winner from the Central, you have your division winner from the West, you'll have your division winner from the East, and you have 3 wildcard spots, and it's gonna be 3 AL East teams. Like, that's how it's gonna be. Will it be Baltimore? Will it be the Yankees, the Jays, Red Sox? Who knows? Maybe someone from the West steps up. Maybe the Astros or the Rangers. The Angels there, Mariners there. Any of those 4 could technically make a splash and everything. The AL Central, win your division or else you're not making it in. That's how it is. That division is so mediocre, it's not even funny. But I mean, with the A's possibly moving to Vegas, possibly we're hearing about the expansion of a couple MLB teams in the next few years, maybe. The division system has got to go. It's really nice. I do like it a lot. But it's not really fair for those teams. You got the Jays, the Yankees, Rays. They're playing those teams most of the season, and they're all really good powerhouse teams. While the AL Central, they're playing their division more, and it's a bunch of just mediocre games. So, yeah, one of those teams is going to step above. Right now, it's the Twins. But come playoff time, we've seen it before with the Twins and the Yankees in playoff matchups in recent years. The Twins, they make all this noise. They have a crazy record. They get to the playoffs. They match up with the Yankees in this case, the last few times, and they get smoked. They get absolutely destroyed because the AL East is on a completely other level than the AL Central. There's no point. So, they have to change the divisions, redo them, put different teams in different spots. Because you have this AL East division who one of those teams is going to have a 500 record or better and not make the playoffs. That's what it's looking like right now. We're a month and a half into the season, 40-something games, 45, 46 games in, and we still have 120 games to go, and that's the prediction I'm making. It's just going to end up one of those teams is going to miss it by a game or two, and they're going to have to get rid of the division system. It's not working anymore. You have a division that's too many good teams that, one of them's not going to make you, and all 5 of them could and should. Over the Twins, over the Tigers, the Guardians, absolutely. So I just wanted to get some of that emotion, some of those feelings out, because every time I look at it, I think it's ridiculous. So, and same thing, you can say the same thing with the NL kind of as well. There's not as clear as a consistency there. Obviously, the Phillies are a really good team, but they're below 500 right now. Miami, they could be a good team. They're barely above 500 by a game. We'll go over all that more in the standings check, but I mean, it's the AL Beast division. It's not fair. It's absurd how good those teams are, and we'll just have to see how the rest of the season plays out, but that's just the prediction that I'm making, that one of those teams is going to miss the dance. Now let's look at our outstanding performances, and we've got a much smaller list this time. Just want to I don't know how I'm going to be kind of continuing with the outstanding performances. I want to try to pick just some of the ones that really stand out instead of going through a lot of the pitchers that just go 7 innings with a bunch of Ks or something. But we've got 4 pitchers here. First off, Shane McClanahan for the Rays, 7 innings pitched, 6 hits, no runs, 1 walk, 7 Ks. Great stuff there. Michael Kopech, we mentioned he needed that dominant start. He got it. 8 innings pitched, 1 hit, no runs, no walks, 10 Ks. Very good. Justin Verlander, the Mets, we talked about that a little bit. 8 innings pitched, 3 hits, 1 run, no walks, 5 Ks. His definite best start as a Met so far. And then, of course, Framber Valdez, the complete game shutout, 9 innings pitched, 4 hits, no runs, no walks, and 7 Ks. All in all, great stuff for those pitchers there. Now we're going with injury updates, and like I said, same thing with the DFA stuff. It's very hard to track some of the major ones. I only found a couple here that I want to mention. Obviously, we mentioned Jazz Chisholm and Julio Urias, or not Julio Urias, Dustin May and Jazz Chisholm on the Monday episode earlier on, or last Friday, I think, as well. One of the two. Either way, I have got 3 here. The Dodgers lose another pitcher, Julio Urias. That's what I meant earlier. He has a left hamstring strain, so he'll be on the 15-day IL. The White Sox, they lose Mike Clevenger with wrist inflammation, 15-day IL for him, and then Jorge Polanco on the 10-day DL with the Twins with a left hamstring strain. Just a couple minor little injuries there that I want to get in the way. And hopefully they'll have some speed recoveries. Obviously, we've got a couple guys coming back from ILs. Jose Altuve's back in the Astros lineup. Luis Severino's back in the Yankees rotation. So, all in all, good stuff there for those guys. Welcome back. So now we're going with our standings check. And like I said a little bit earlier when I was talking about the AL Beast division, the Rays, Baltimore, Yankees, Boston, and Toronto, that's how they stack up, all with a 500 record. The Rays with a 2.5 lead over Baltimore as they continue to crawl there. Blue Jays, a little rough homestand stretch against the Yankees in Baltimore. They've lost 4 straight. They got swept by Baltimore and then lost 3 of 4 to the Yankees. So those last 7 games, they're 1-6 at home. Not fun there. And hopefully they can turn it around. Yankees on a 4-game winning streak. Good for them. AL Central, Twins 25-22, Tigers 20-24, Guardians 20-26, White Sox 19-29, but they've won 3 straight. They're the only team in the AL Central who won yesterday and is on a winning streak, essentially a 3-game winning streak. The rest, 3-game losing streak. Guardians just got swept by the Mets, so there you go. The AL Central division, great stuff there. Rangers, they're still holding their own in the AL West. Surprise, surprise, 29-17. Astros only 2 games back at 27-19. They've won 7 straight. So here come the big bad Astros, the dads of the division, the dad of the AL West, the AL essentially. Angels still holding their own above 500. They're 25-23, not bad there. The Mariners, they're at 22-24, so they've kind of slumped a little bit after the Braves series, but they have a series against Oakland coming up, so hopefully that will rewrite their ship and get them back on course. NL East, the Braves are still at top there at 29-17, 5 games above the Mets, who now sit at second at 25-23. Marlins still above 500. They're 24-23. Phillies 22-24, still below 500. And the Nationals at 20-27. The Mets, they're on a 5-game winning streak after sweeping the Guardians. Can they continue? They're going to have a series against the Cubs coming up, so we'll see how that fares out for them. NL Central, the Pirates, I think I might have mentioned this earlier, but they've officially fallen out of the first place. The Brewers are now in first at 25-21. Pirates right there, though, at 24-22, only 1 game behind them. Cardinals are in third. You blink from a week, from 5th to 3rd, just like that. The NL Central, the Cardinals are now in 3rd place at 21-27. They're 8-2 in their last 10. They have been playing hot brand of baseball. The Cubs in 4th, 20-26, and the Reds in fifth, 19 and 27, just a game back of the Cubs there. So we'll see how that all progresses. And last year, the NL West, the Dodgers still above the Diamondbacks at 29 wins, 19 losses. They're a game and a half above them. The Diamondbacks are 27 and 20. The Giants have slipped into third place now at 22 and 24 as the Padres continue to fumble. In their last 10 games, they're 2 and 8. They're now fourth at 21 and 26, 2 games above the Rockies, who are at 19 and 28 there. If you're Padres, you do not want to be in the last place in that division. Hold your own. Don't let Colorado catch up. They've got a series against the Nationals coming up, so hopefully that will rewrite their ship. But yeah, so for division winners right now, Braves in the East, Brewers in the Central, and Dodgers in the West. For your NL side, AL side is still Tampa in the East, Twins in the Central, and the Rangers still holding their own against the Astros in the West. Very impressive stuff there. Now we're going with our upcoming series, what's going on for the week that is about to happen. And we're going to start with the AL East as usual. Baltimore will be playing the Yankees, 2 teams who are kind of hot right now. The Yankees coming off a really good series against the Jays, and the Reds, Baltimore coming off the sweep against the Jays. So now they'll clash up together. The Blue Jays in a bit of a slump. They're heading to Tropicana to take on the Rays, so that's not really a great sign for the Blue Jays to head to Trop, taking on the best team of the East there. Tigers and Royals will face off. The White Sox and the Guardians face off. That could be a fun series. White Sox playing a little bit of better baseball, so we'll see how they can fare. The Giants, they're in Minnesota taking on the Twins. The Red Sox, they're in LA against the Angels. That's a fun series there. Rafael Devers, can he continue with the Red Sox? Will Trout and Ohtani stomp them there? The A's and the Mariners, we talked about that. Mariners right your ship. Dodgers and Braves, 2 first-place teams going at it. This has been kind of a matchup that always happens throughout playoffs and everything, so always an exciting one there. The D-backs, they're against the Phillies. That's going to be a fun one. D-backs still kind of managing around the top of the division. The Phillies trying to get into the mix. It's a good one there. Padres and Nationals, so a good chance for the Padres to right their ship. The Mets and the Cubs. Can the Mets continue to play some hot baseball? We'll see about that. Rangers and Pirates. That's another fun one. Rangers first in the West. Pirates right there. We got some good matchups for this week. Astros and Brewers, 2 more first-place teams, or not really, but the Astros are a 7-game winning streak. Brewers, you got to hold your own there. The Cardinals will face the Reds, so another good chance for the Cardinals to continue playing their hot brand of baseball against a team lesser than them. And rounding it off, the Marlins and the Rockies. So can the Marlins stay above 500 with a good series against the Rockies there? That is what we will have to see next week, and by next week I mean this week, on our Friday episode, because that is going to do it for our episode today. Thank you so much for listening and sticking around and being a part of another series recap, another weekend set in the books. We're coming close to the end of May, almost 2 months into the baseball season. We're starting to see kind of where teams are, how things are going to progress, who are going to be fighting for playoff spots come the dog days, and who could you already rule out of the playoffs. Cough, cough, Oakland, cough, cough, Las Vegas. But yeah, thank you guys so much for listening and tuning in to another episode. I hope you guys have a great week. If your favorite team is in town, go watch a game. You know, it's always good to get out there around around the June days before the dog days happen. So, you know, go watch your favorite team, go see your favorite players, hit some home runs, and so do all that stuff. Enjoy your weeks, guys, and I will see you guys Friday.